Wow, it's been that long already?
Take that, mental illness. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Youth Potential, a place where we talk about all sorts of things related to mental health. Whether you feel good or whether you feel meh, this place is for you. Also, I've got an Instagram account. Please go and check that out.
Hello, my friend Scott here representing Youth Potential. I want to wish you a very unhappy Valentine's Day. No, I'm just kidding. Valentine's Day is quite a commercial holiday. I think that's probably the correct way to describe it, isn't it? A holiday. It's definitely a commercial holiday in the sense that companies, advertisers, manufacturers, they cash in on Valentine's Day and they try and sell you, ideally couples, anything from cards, flowers, and gifts, nights, weekends away. And yeah, and that's it. But, if you're in a relationship and you want to hop on the bandwagon of Valentine's Day, you want to do something nice for your partner, that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. As much as it is a commercial sort of holiday, there's no harm in enjoying it. But for the people like myself that are single, it can be a bit of a lonely reminder, I think, Valentine's Day. To be honest, I woke up today and forgot it was even Valentine's Day until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But it's different for everyone, in terms of single people. Like, how does it make you feel? How does Valentine's Day make you feel? I'm asking both people that are in relationships and people that are not in relationships. I want to know, how does Valentine's Day make you feel? And what do you do for it? What do you do for it? There's no shame in being single. Obviously, some people are single by choice. Some people are single not by choice, like myself. And there's plenty of us that are still looking for the one, so to speak, if you believe in that kind of stuff. I think what hasn't helped since social media has been a thing when it comes to Valentine's Day, it is really pushed on people from all angles. I'm sure you've been on Instagram or Facebook or something today, and there's been posts about something to do with Valentine's Day, or there's been a advert trying to sell something related to Valentine's Day. Hotels, restaurants, they love to put out a little bit of advertising around this sort of time. And yeah, for plenty of people who are single and are suffering with their mental health, it can be really lonely. It can be a right kick in the teeth. It can bring back memories of previous relationships that have, maybe they've not ended well, or there's been a particular incident that's happened amongst yourself in a relationship that happened around Valentine's Day, and it just kind of reminds you of that and makes you feel proper, rubbish. Yeah, but social media, some people as well, if they're in a relationship, and it's very common for people to do so, is to post pictures of themselves with their partners going out for a meal, or, on a date, maybe to the cinema, or going to a particular location. And obviously there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. If people want to celebrate their relationship, that's absolutely fine. But I think sometimes as a single person who's kind of longing for a relationship at the moment, I kind of see that, and it does make me a little bit envious. I'm not afraid to admit. I've been single for a few years now. I have to accept that and live with that, and that's as it is. But every time Valentine's Day comes around, it kind of deflates me a little bit. But overall, I think I've kind of got used to it a little bit. But it's not the same for everyone, is it? Yeah, as I say, how does it make you feel? How does Valentine's Day, what kind of emotions do they bring about within yourself? So I'll tell you what, something that happened to me in the last couple of days. It was whilst I was at work. So I was going to one of the houses that I manage, and I went in there, and there were some people that I didn't know, some people that didn't live there, that's for sure. I quickly worked out they were friends of someone who did live there, someone that I manage. And one of the guys, he come outside as I was kind of leaving the property, and I was loading up the back of one of the work cars, and I was putting, basically had a whole crate of like tins. It was out of date tins, but they were tins of food. And he asked me, you know, what are you doing with that? And I said to him, I said, you know, it's going to be thrown away. It's out of date by a few months. And he asked me, he said, you know, do you mind if I have this stuff? I was like, well, I mean, obviously the food is out of date, but if you want to trust it, that's absolutely fine. And I think a lot of tin food, you can kind of eat past its sell by date. Don't quote me on that, please. Check with your, check the labels on all food and follow the manufacturer's instructions. So yeah, anyway, he asked for these tins, and I had a bag in there, and he took, I don't know, maybe 20 tins of food. In the end, it was all like a mixture of, you know, soups and beans and sausages, that kind of stuff. And then, if I'm completely honest, I was trying to hurry up the situation and get it over and done with because I had other stuff to do. But there came a point where I kind of slowed down, because the gentleman, after he took all this stuff, he kind of paused for a moment, and then I could see a tear sort of forming in his eye behind in his glasses. And I was like, "You okay, mate?" And he says to me, and it was really moving. He said to me, "You're one of the first people in a very long time to not judge me." And I kind of paused. I didn't quite know how to react straight away. And I said, "Oh, okay. Well, you know, I don't think people should, you know, be overly judgmental. You know, people go through different things, blah, 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 blah." And he kind of stopped, and he looked at me and he went, "Oh, I'm going through a lot of stuff at the moment." I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry to hear that, mate." And then he said, "I've been close to giving up." And I said to him, as a natural instinct for some reason, I said to him, "Yeah, I know, mate." And even though I've never met him in my entire life. And he said to me, "Well, how do you know?" And on the spot, you could see it in his eyes. And I said to him, "I can see it in your eyes." He had this kind of sort of dormant look about him where sometimes he would make eye contact with you, and sometimes he would kind of look past you down and have, you know, almost sort of dissociate for a few seconds. And then he goes to me, "Can I have a hug?" I didn't hesitate. I went round, put my arms around him, and he was squeezing tight, real tight. And he started to whimper a little bit. And he was saying, "You know, no one's given me this much respect in such a long time. I'm really grateful for all this." And he was getting emotional, but he was still holding me real tight. And I just said to him, sort of like his ear was here, and I said to him, "Please, mate, don't give up. Don't ever give up." And then he kind of carried on hugging me. This went on for a couple of minutes, and then he let go, and he said, "I've been so close to giving up. I've lost, you know, so like many members of my family." And I said, "Matt, I'm really, really honestly sorry to hear that, but please do not give up. Take this food." Because I kind of, one thing I never mentioned earlier is that I was under the impression that he was quite poor and perhaps struggled with having a home, because that's the kind of people that I look after, and the kind of people that I manage and support. They hang around with similar people in kind of shared accommodations and stuff like that, where they're living on benefits. And I could just tell this guy was so grateful. The fact that he was, you know, getting teary, crying, getting emotional, just over some tin food that was out of date. And he kept on shaking my hand. And, do you know, I came away from that experience and I just thought, I feel good about myself. Not because I've done anything for him, but because he felt recognised. He felt, you know, yeah, I think recognised is probably the right word. He felt listened to. He felt like he was seen as a human and not as a benefit scrounging, or, you know, people make all sorts of assumptions about homeless people, but more than 50% of the time they're not true. Yeah, it was good. It was good, and I'm glad I made up. You know, I said he was just really happy, and I felt happy for it. What more can I say? And I think it's little things like that matter, not things like Valentine's Day. You know, putting a smile on people's faces and helping them out, even just with the tiniest little things, even if it's almost no effort of yours, it's worth doing, isn't it? So, my friends, whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship, what are you doing tonight? Myself, I'm going to be playing on the PlayStation 5 and watching probably some old WWE, when it was WWF basically. Tomorrow I'm got a date with my friend. I'm going to see the fourth Captain America movie. And yeah, this weekend as well, I'm going to be, like I said in my last video, I'm going to be putting up some information about mental health interview podcasts that I kind of want to do this year with people over on Instagram. But yeah, I'll put out some more details about that very soon, okay? Stay safe, guys. All the best. I'll see you soon. Take care.